Hello and welcome to another episode. Thank you for joining me on the podcast. Today I've got a very special guest who I'm going to be having an intimate conversation with because she's here in the studio with me, and this is my friend Madonna Viviani, who is a tarot reader, psychic medium, and who also does incense readings and transfiguration. So hello Madonna, and thank you for joining me here today.
Ciao everybody, and thank you for having me.
So first of all, I just wanted to give you the opportunity really to tell the listeners a bit about yourself and what you do and why you enjoy what you do so much, basically, if that's okay.
Ciao everybody. So basically, I've been doing tarot readings since I was 13 years old. The passion for it came way before that. When I was a little girl, I used to sit there and draw my own little tarot cards, which at the time, because obviously, not that I'm ancient, but I am 50. We couldn't really find, like you do now, many tarot decks, especially for kids, because nowadays you can find them for kids as well. So I used to sit there and draw my own, and so when I was a little girl, I used to sit there and draw my own cards. The passion for it came when I was about, I remember I was about 3, and I love horror, so I used to sit there with my mom and watching horror movies, and there was this lady with a tarot deck, which obviously I was only 3 and I didn't know what it was, but I was then asking my mom, because my mom is from Romania, and her family, they read from tea leaves, coffee. Also, her own nan was blind, so she was really, really in tune with the spirit world, because she was really picking up on your energies and on your vibrations, and she actually did tell my mom many things that actually did happen in her life. So anyway, I'm drifting away. So I was sat there watching this movie with my mom, and I got really intrigued by this lady that was selling the future. And then obviously as I grew, then I realized that it isn't exactly like that. You know, tarot cards are there to help you finding the right path. They can, say, if you come to me and ask me, should I take that path or should I take that path? I've got this opportunity. The tarot will tell you what will happen if you choose one path and what will happen if you choose the other path, and then obviously ultimately is going to be your own choice, obviously.
So one thing I wanted to actually ask with that then, which is I've gotten into tarot in the last couple of years, and one thing that I wanted to ask you is how is the tarot actually used to help with psychic readings? Like, does the tarot itself actually predict, can you use the tarot to actually predict the future? That's what I wanted to ask.
You can see what's going to happen, but then obviously it hasn't happened yet, so you can actually dodge it. To be honest, I've helped so many people, including my own self, especially now at 50, time is really precious, and I'm not going to lie to you, sometimes I did not listen to my cards, and then I was like, oh God, I should have listened because I lost time. But now, at 50, I'm definitely listening, and I will definitely take their advice, although like I keep saying, it's still your own choice to do what you want to do. But they basically, if it hasn't happened yet, you can dodge it. So one subject that I love talking about when I do tarot cards to help is health and death. So I've helped so many people, as if we can say, dodging their death. And I know that people can say, oh, maybe it wasn't their time. and maybe that's why they came to me, to tell them that if they were going to take that path, they were going to die. So perhaps that was then a way for the universe to then tell them that, it wasn't their time to go. Because a lot of people can say, oh, but it wasn't the time to go. That's why they didn't go. But that's why they came to me, because I told them not to do that.
So oh my God. So you specifically, what they would actually come to you and ask you a question, and you would sort of say, no, don't do that, because that's gonna lead to your death.
Yeah, basically, yes. I had, I can give you a few examples, and perhaps maybe one of them we can bring onto the show at some point. A few years ago, when the first tsunami came about, she was with two other friends, and she came for a tarot reading with her two friends. So I started reading for one, and I saw death, but I didn't tell her because I wanted to see what the other two readings were saying, because it kept coming up that she was dying in a group. So then I did the second one, death the same, third one, death the same, and I thought, right. So I said to them, are you going somewhere all together? And they said, yes, we're going on holiday. And I said, right, it's best, I said to them, that you don't go. And they were like, you joking? And I went, no, I'm not joking. I said, it's best for you guys not to go. And they said, well, why is that? And we're going on holiday, we're about to have fun. And I said, it's not going to be that much fun. I said, because you're all going to die.
Is this the Boxing Day tsunami that happened in I think it was like 2007, 2006, 2007? Is it that one?
Yeah, it was the first tsunami. Yes, I can't remember now exactly the dates because it's been so long now. But it was, I'm pretty sure, because I was trying to think. I was in a shop. I was doing tarot readings from a shop, and that's when they came, and they walked into the shop for a reading for fun. It was actually they were really young girls. They were only 20, and they thought it was a fun thing to do, having your tarot cards done. Until then, they were then asked, because one of them said, okay, then, is that a place where we're going that is doomed, or is it like this is it then? Death is gonna come after us. And I said, yeah, that's a good question. I said, let's ask. So we asked about France. No, you can go to France, it's fine. You can go to Italy, that's fine. You can go to Austria, that's fine. But then as soon as we said the location again there, death. So it was that. So then luckily they listened. It was already all booked. They had it all booked. They were going. But luckily they listened, because I was literally adamant, please girls, do not go. You're all going to die. Like, it's a fact. It says it on here. Please listen to me. Luckily they did, and obviously they're still here. And that was, like absolutely, amazing. I still... Also because I've saved Caroline's life many other times apart from that one. Or if I can see that you have cancer, if I see from the cards that you have cancer, I will tell you, and to help you. Because I guarantee you, when you have it diagnosed by the professionals, you're not going to have much longer to live. So if I tell you beforehand and confirm, maybe after the time is already actually confirming what you have, the symptoms that you have, and then I'll tell you, yes,
So you mentioned cancer there, but is that something that a lot of people will come to you about, like health problems? Because one thing that I was going to ask you was, what is the, what are the main reasons that people come to you? Like, what are the main reasons that people come to you for readings? Is it like usually relationships? Is it sort of money, career, health? Or is it just like always a mix of everything? And what are the, do you see things, or do you get messages that you kind of, for ethical reasons, where you won't tell them?
No, I tell you everything. So if I see that you're going to die, I will tell you, and I will help you to dodge it. Yeah, What, like that's what they are for. Like if I can help you in every way, I will help you, because that's what the tarot cards are for.
Would you say that you're different to other tarot readers in that respect then? Because I always just got the impression that if there was death, then, like it wouldn't, I don't know. I just was under this impression that it would be something that a tarot reader wouldn't tell you.
Why not? At the end of the day, if I can help you, I will help you. That's how I am. If you can't hear the truth, then go to another tarot reader. So I believe that it's a tool. It's an amazing tool, and it's an amazing tool, an amazing person behind the tool, and together, it's an explosion. If I can help you, like I said, in and elevate you and make you happy, that's my job done. If I can see you there that you're going to be done, and I'm not telling you, I won't be able to sleep, because I could have saved you. I won't be able to rest, and say, Jesus, I've seen that you've got cancer, and I've not told you, and I won't be able to sleep.
So I have had tarot readings from lots of different people, and one of the things that I think sets you apart from a lot of people is, first of all, the way that you do the tarot. It's like a whole kind of process, and the way that everything's set out, like, this is just an audio recording at the moment, but if people could see, what kind of goes into this, Madonna like lays her like a piece of fabric, like a beautiful piece of fabric, and we've got this beautiful fabric with candles laid out, like it looks like a fucking church we've got here. But the main thing is that you've got so many different packs of tarot. So it's not like, I've been to tarot readers before where they will just read from one deck of cards, I guess. But you have got, I want to say like 100 packs of different 400 different packs of tarot, kind of like all mixed into it. So can you just sort of go into why you do it in the way that you do, and how you manage to keep track of like all the cards, I guess?
So basically, I am a Leo and I am unique. So I like to do things in my own different way. Why I put my own tarot deck together is because I never actually found perhaps I should make one, actually, really talking about it. A deck that I love. So there is all different decks. I've got more than 400 decks, because obviously I've been collecting them since I was 13 years old. Put together, like I've got a card from that one, a card from the other one. So yes, my deck is like 200 cards most probably together. But is because I set my deck in a way that I will get all the demons out of you, to help you, to, like I said, to elevate and to feel happy, to do your shadow work, to work within yourself and find peace.
And for people that are listening that don't even know what shadow work means, what would you describe shadow work in a brief kind of summary?
To me, shadow work is when you peel yourself like an onion, like in Italy we say, and you heal every single part of yourself that is in pain. That's what, for me, shadow work is. And I'm not even going to lie to you, I've never read any books about it. I know that Carl Jung is amazing with his books, but I I don't. It's like when I do my ghost hunting. I don't want to know anything about the place, or when I do my readings. I don't want to know anything. And because my tarot cards, my intuition. I mean, I am an intuitive tarot reader as well. Obviously, I do know the meaning of the cards, obviously, but when I do my readings, I look at the picture of the cards, what they tell me, and then maybe one day this the King of Swords, for instance, tells me one thing. The next day, the King of Swords is telling me another thing, and because I'm reading for a different person. So for each reading, I am learning something about the cards and about myself, and obviously helping the person that I'm reading for. So if in one day I do 10 readings, I guarantee you that in lots between all of them, I set my deck on, so when people come to me with questions, you can ask the question, but I can't guarantee you that my tarot cards will answer it, because my tarot cards are set on what you need to know, not what you want to know. So maybe if you're lucky, they answer your question, but especially also don't piss them off, because if you keep asking the same question, they do that to me anyway as well. If you keep asking the same question, then they stop answering. They tell you once, maybe twice if you're lucky, but then that's it.
Is this because you're asking for assistance from the spirit guides, or what is it? I just get this like image of kind of spirit guides kind of getting pissed off because you've asked them the question so many times and haven't listened to the answer. Is that sort of what you mean by that?
Well, no, because tarot cards is one thing and spirit guide is another thing. So, thing. Let's not call it thing, but if you know what I mean. So, no, the tarot cards is them. And then if, you read the energies, the spirit guides, if they want to talk, if they want to give their say, then that's different. But if you're asking the tarots about love and they don't want to tell you about love, because for the tarots you don't need to hear about love, they won't tell you. Well, not my cards, because they're set to tell you what you need to know. So if you keep asking about love and they told you no, then stop asking, because they're not going to tell you, and that's it. That's the end of. I can't make them tell you about love if they don't want to tell you about love or whatever else you're asking about. They will tell you what you need to know, and then after, if they can see that you are understanding, then maybe at the end we can ask again and see. But if still at the end they're saying no, they don't want to tell you, then that's it. You have to leave it.
So what I was really interested in then is, I guess when you do a reading and when somebody comes to you, or whether you go to them, you will kind of read their energy. How does that work? How do you read energy? And also what I wanted to ask, I was curious whether, are you contacting the other side in a way as well?
Yes, about the energy. If I go to somebody or they come to me and they've got blocks up, I can see it straight away. So if you're coming for a reading but you're scared, then there's no point, because I am not going to sit there, try to take your wall down. At the end of the day, you've come to me. I didn't come to you. So if you're coming with your blocks up, with your energy right up high.
Is that like if somebody's like really skeptical about it, is that, or they just can't handle the truth?
Yeah, a bit of everything. They're skeptical, they can't handle the truth, they're not ready to hear it. But at the end of the day, if you're coming, it's because your gut feeling is telling you that you do need to have a reading, you do need to know some things, and that's why you've come. Because I never approach people. I used to when I was younger, but then I had in few occasions that people were nasty to me. So I thought, okay, I respect the boundaries, So because as you grow older, you become a bit more, I don't know, grown up, I guess. But although I'm not going to lie to you, I did that the other day. There was these two girls and I was in the shop and I just went up to them. And they just looked at me but obviously I do know now what to say, not speaking about death straight away and say, oh, by the way, but no, it was something nice. But yeah, when I was younger, yeah, I just used to say it, and then my mom used to tell me off, but obviously because you're young, and you're still, and it was always for the highest good anyway, because I was always helping people. But it was how I was saying it, I guess, because I'm a Leo as well. I'm really go straight to the point. Like I said to you earlier, if I'm seeing that you're dying, I will tell you, or, if people are skeptical or they're scared, and I'll tell them straight, please don't be like that. Otherwise, I'm not going to read for you. That's it. Simple as. I'm not going to waste my time. I'm not, don't want you to waste your time. But I do say to them, you've come, so obviously it's because you do need to hear it. And then that's it. And then see how it goes,
And then so what is said about the other side, do you contact the other side?
Well, they contact me. So as I'm doing the readings, their spirit guides, their loved ones, whoever would like to pass on a message, they know that I can do that. So my channel is open, because when I do the readings, I open every single channel, and they can just let me know that they're there by smelling them, hearing them, seeing them. They can touch me. I also feel their physical pain as well, and so I just pass on the messages. So I let them, the spirits, contact me. I don't bother them. They know the door is open. If you want to go through that door, I'm here. I am the messenger, because that's who I am. That's what I'm here for. I am the messenger.
So how often then is it that you will kind of get a message from the other side? Because, I've obviously had a couple of tarot readings from you, and I don't think that happened. So is it quite rare that you will get a message from the other side, or is it quite common?
I don't know. It depends how. I haven't worked that one out myself, to be honest. I don't know how it works. Also because, it's not something logical. It's something spiritual. So there are some readings that I do that we start off with the tarot cards, and the next thing, it's all about messages from the spirit world. So maybe one day, when we're doing a reading, that will happen to you as well, and we're just here pulling the cards, and the next thing is like, that's it, stop with the cards. It's all flowing in a through a different channel rather than the cards, so I can't tell you that there's not how do you say, a way of it, to make that work or to make the other thing work.
So one of the things that sets you aside from anybody else really is that you do incense readings and transfiguration. So anybody that heads to your Facebook or your Instagram or your TikTok would be able to see what the what goes into the process of incense reading and transfiguration. But could you just tell everybody a bit about what incense reading actually and transfiguration is?
So incense readings, how I love incense. So I was sat burning it like I normally do. And there was a lot of negativity at that time around me, a lot of evil eye. So I was trying to get rid of it. So I was burning, I'm not going to lie to you, about 300 buds of incense in the garden. And next thing, as I'm looking at it and trying to, send my positive thoughts and, send a protection around me, I started seeing faces in this huge smoke that was coming out, and I thought, hang on a minute, let me get my phone out, because obviously the smoke, it goes really fast, doesn't it? So I thought, let me record this. So I started recording it, and then I started slowing it down, and lots and lots of faces, animal faces. I saw my dog, my nan, my uncle and auntie kissing as well, because they both passed. So I was like, whoa, this is amazing. Because normally then I looked up on, as you do on Google, Google knows everything apparently. And they were reading the incense, like watching the smoke, if it goes straight, if it goes round, if it waves, or if it goes in a zigzag. But with me, you can actually see, like I said, proper faces, animal faces. I'm a Leo, so I don't know how many times the lions has come through, cub as well, unbelievable, beautiful. It is just, I think it's more comforting than seeing, for instance, your loved ones coming through and your animals coming through. Is very comforting, I think. And then reading, there's notes as well, musical notes coming through.
So would you incorporate the incense reading into like a regular reading? Say somebody contacted you and they said, hi there, can I book, like a tarot reading, but can I have incense incorporated into it? Is that like one of the services that you actually offer then?
Oh, yes, because I can do your tarot reading and obviously put the incense on and recording it, and then afterwards slowing it down and have a look what has come through. So yeah, I can do that, no problem. Be actually more interesting to see who comes through as well, because you can actually see, like I said, the spirit faces coming through. And that's a proof, because everybody always wants proof, isn't it? And because nobody ever listens to their gut feeling, like everybody always wants proof, don't they? So that is a magical proof coming through. About death, I know that we're all going to die at some point, but if I see it coming in your reading, in a reading, then that's when I'm like, okay, then yes, it needs to be said. The person needs to be made aware of, because like I said, we're all going to die at some point. So I'm not going to see it every time. So basically what I'm trying to say is I'm seeing death when it's really like quite close. And to be able then, as I was saying, to dodge it.
So that basically takes us into the transfiguration then. So if you could just explain, a bit more about what the transfiguration is. Is it a service that you offer to people, and what can how does it help people basically?
So I love doing transfiguration, is my passion. I mastered my own technique and still mastering it, to be honest, because we're all always learning, like as I was saying earlier about the tarot cards, about the incense. We're always constantly learning, which I love that. So the transfiguration, basically, as I was doing the readings throughout my life, I could feel that the spirits were pushing through the side. They were literally pushing in to come into my body, and I was like, all right, what is going on here? Because I forgot to mention that I've never had a guru, I've never had a teacher, I've never had anybody explaining to me anything. I just all found out by myself, as I am my own teacher, and so I was having the spirits coming through on one side, and I could feel my face moving, then pushing in, and I was like, hang on a minute, so obviously I called my spirit guides and saying what's going on here, because I wasn't scared, because they don't scare me, but I was just wondering what was happening, and they told me that they wanted to come through and connect it that way. And I said, okay, yeah, we can do that. If, ask for protection, obviously, and see what happens. So at first, obviously, I wasn't recording myself. I didn't even think. Also because back years ago, the phones weren't a thing, really. It's only, in the last few years, isn't it? And so then in 2016, I had my first recording. I was doing transfiguration in a group, and which is on my Facebook. And the lady's granddad come through. and who had Parkinson's, and you can see he's got Parkinson's, and like he himself come through, and that was very beautiful to watch back, and the lady took very much comfort. And then as I then carried on in the last, especially in the last 5 years, because I got more and more passionate, I then started working with the shadows. I could see that not only they were coming in, in me, but then they were also using the shadows, so for them to show themselves, and the fire as well. So in fact, I do it with the white candles and the fire and the incense, swap and change. I like to try different things, because normally, they said that it was done with a red light in a cabinet. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I've never done it like that, because as you probably know, I want to be doing different things. I don't want to do what everybody else does, but I shall try that as well, see what happens when I do it. And then because obviously I step out of my body and I let them in, then whoever comes through, and they can be people from, the place where I'm at. They can be their loved ones coming through. I have somebody with me, normally is my husband, asking the questions to the spirits. But let's say that we did it, me and you can ask the questions to the spirits. So I go basically into trance, but it's more than trance, because then they're transfiguring me. You can see them on my face, like you've seen there's plenty of footage on my TikTok, Instagram, everywhere on my social media. I put the videos on and the pictures as well, for people to see, and I absolutely love it. I just absolutely love doing spirit transfiguration. So it's my passion.
So if somebody wanted to contact you for some spirit transfiguration, as in somebody wanted to get a message from like a loved one, or maybe there was like, if there was like a haunting in somebody's house, would that be a situation where transfiguration would be appropriate?
Yeah, absolutely. About the haunting, yes, because we can ask who's there, whoever is doing it with me, because obviously I'm not going to be there, because I step out of my body, a bit like Insidious. I don't know if, I'm sure a lot of people have watched Insidious, or they watched Ghost with Patrick Swayze and Whoopi Goldberg, because that's what basically it is. And so I step out of my body, and then whoever is asking the questions, they can, ask, who are you? Did you live here? Are you bothering this family? And see what the spirits say. Now, about who comes through, I'm not there to control it. So I don't know who comes through, because I leave the door open, and basically they're going to use my body as a vessel. So I'm not there. So I don't know who comes through. Maybe they can, whoever is asking the questions, they can ask the spirits to bring maybe their loved one through. But I'm not there to do it. I can't, do you know what I mean? I'm not in charge. So I can't do that.
Does it scare you, some of the things that happen to you? Or, I mean, so you're saying that you when you're kind of in the middle of it, you don't know it's happening, but then you see it back on video afterwards. Are you quite shocked and scared of what you see, maybe like on the recordings afterwards?
No, I'm actually really fascinated to see who comes through, because then it's you can it's real, so it's very it's very brutal in a way, because they are very true on what they say, as in when they pass on the messages, they're even more brutal than me. So they're really straight to the point, and it's amazing to see who comes through, because every time he is different. like, and there are some little nasty spirits coming through like that because they were nasty when they were here, and so it's amazing to see who comes through, because in one session, the session is like 2 or 3 hours. It depends how long you want it for. I love doing it, so like the maximum that I did was like 3 hours. I would have carried on, but whoever is with me, they were getting a bit like, right, this is it now. I'm getting a bit like, I've had enough now, and but because I love it, then we can sit there all day and night doing it.
So it's such a unique thing that I can't imagine the kind of interest that you've had in this on your Instagram, and people messaging you about it. I know that you've told me that you're inundated with messages in your inbox with Instagram and everything like that, and on TikTok as well. If people contact you, then so they can contact you via Instagram or TikTok, I guess, if they want to have a session.
Yeah, of course they can. Obviously, I'm gonna, if it's only if it's serious, that's what I was gonna say, because this is not a game. This is not a joke. This is absolutely serious. So if there are people that are really concerned about their activities, that is going on in their homes or at work, they can definitely contact me, and then we can then do transfiguration and see who comes through and what they've got to say. As in whoever comes through, what has got to say, because at the end of the day, I am working for the spirit world. I am the messenger, so they are speaking through me. Whether they're speaking through me through transfiguration, incense, tarots, crystal ball, or spells, or whatever it is, whichever tool I am using, I am the messenger, so I am working for them, going on at home or in another environment. Then that they can definitely contact me.
So in that case, then, do you have sort of a way of diffusing the negative energy? I guess, like, if anything negative does come through in one of these transfigurations.
Yeah, because obviously once I come out of the session and then I look at the video, decide how to go about it, how to then contact the whoever has come through, where I am going to be in charge, because like I said, when I'm doing transfiguration, I am not there. So I then, to be able to then get rid of the negativity, I then have to be in charge. So what I'll do then, I will then contact and hopefully they will come through, because we all know spirits are very cheeky, and so we'll try to contact the spirits that has come through, and hopefully, because another thing that they don't want to give ever, when you ask them their name, for some reason they don't want to give their names when we do transfiguration, and the person asks what's your name, they struggle to say their name. Some of them, they don't. And I think it's because once you say somebody's name, that's it, you've got them. Do you know what I mean? Like, so that's why they don't say their name. Because it's, like, how do you say? It's like, this is it. That is you. They don't want that. So they don't give their name. It's really strange. Also, as I was saying, I'm a Leo, so I do things different than everybody else, and I just love that. I love experimenting. My transfiguration as well. If you go and have a look at the videos, you can see that they move my body. So not only you can see them on my face, changing my face, how they looked and everything, but if they had any scars, if any deformities. So, and then obviously they speak as well, so you can hear their voice, their mannerism. In some of them, I also experimented standing up as well. So when before, like how normally it is done, that's, that I'm seeing on social media, they just sit there under a cabinet, and they just basically channel their spirit through. So I think it more than transfiguration. I think they're doing trance, to be honest, and you can see the face of the medium, like sort of like having sort of like layer in front of them, and you can see the spirit. When with me, they actually move, they talk. Like I said, you can see their mannerism. It's, like completely different. It's a totally different experience. When I do transfiguration, when I post my videos, please God, don't get scared, because as I was saying at the beginning, I love horror. I used to sit there and watch it with my mum when I was 3-year-old, and so when I post my videos, I then put a little scary music to go with it. But it's nothing don't be scared, because they're not scary. Because I've been seeing the comments, they don't bother me, because everybody perceives things in a different way, which is fine by me, But obviously I got told that I'm from the devil, and lots of other, I'm not going to say on here, because some of them are proper nasty. Otherwise, if it's okay to say it, they told me to go die. They told me to get cancer, just because I'm posting videos where it looks like that it's demonic, but it's not. It's not demonic. It's not demonic at all. So, if people perceive it that way, then it's up to them, isn't it? Like, that's fine by me, but proper nasty. Luckily, as I always say, a lion never stops, never looks behind when a dog barks. So I keep going my way.
I think the thing is, basically, both of us have been in this kind of like spiritual, realm for a few years, alongside talking about, various conspiracies and things like that go on around the world. And I guess doing the transfiguration, you must have gotten kind of a thick skin from just doing tarot in the first place, because I think a lot of people will have this negative idea of tarot in the first place. Expressed my interest in tarot for a long time, and I've had people saying to me that it's demonic, that it's new agey. And what would you say to that?
I just say it's all bollocks. Why? At the end of the day, come and have a reading, and then you can see it for yourself whether it's demonic or not. Because if I'm sat there trying to help you, trying to make you feel better, try to help you find peace, especially peace of mind, then how is it demonic? It isn't demonic at all. Because if it was demonic, then you would leave mine, or when I leave, you would be feeling shit. You'd be feeling so down and depressed because I dragged you down to hell. So when instead I leave you uplifted, I kick your ass lots of times so that you can get on the right path, so that you can be like, right, yes, I see it now, see what tarot cards are trying to tell me to help me. And but after time, because people don't want to hear the bad things, but it's not the bad things, like I said earlier, if I'm telling you got cancer, I'm trying to bloody help you here, because next thing when the doctor tells you is because you've got 2 weeks left. So if I'm telling you before, if the cards are so kind to bloody tell you before, then you should be bloody grateful for it, or if I can see that you're wasting your time in a dead end job, and I'm trying to kick your ass back into gear and say, right, change your bloody job, mate. You're wasting your time. Time is very precious and you don't get it back. Then, how is it bad? Otherwise, I would tell you to stay where you are and keep drowning your sorrows in depression.
Would you say that there's some people? Would you say that? I'm trying to think of what I wanted to ask here was, do you think that there's people that come for tarot readings where you give your advice to them and they over and over and over again won't take the advice? I think some people, including myself, have gone for tarot readings before where it's almost like you kind of know the answer. You know the advice that you're getting is that it makes sense and it's the right thing to do, but you like willfully choose to ignore it.
Yeah, but I give you two chances. You know, I come the first time, I tell you, right, this is what's going on. Okay, you know, you take that on board, and then I leave. Second time, I come again, and you're still in the same cycle. You're still in the same routine. You're still on the same, hamster wheel, as I call it. Then I'll be like, right, that's it now. Get a grip and don't call me again unless you've started changing your bloody routine.
One of the main things that happened to me when I stopped drinking, which was a couple of years ago, was I realized I was drinking to mask a lot of things in my life that I didn't want to face, and it's like a massive avoidance thing. Madonna, you helped me so much with being my friend, but also like with helping me into becoming kind of more spiritual. And I think that we can look at the regular methods of psychological improvement, as in therapy and reading sort of self-help books, but for me, one of the things that has helped me the most in terms of individuation, which is one of the main goals of psychological wellness, is looking into the kind of psycho-spiritual aspects of our world and of our realm, I guess, and looking into sort of past lives. And you were just talking to me then about past lives. So what is your own sort of understanding and opinion of reincarnation and past lives?
So basically, for instance, with my husband, I when I sit next to him, like at some point I start seeing that he was so poor. He was in France, and I started seeing him running in this road with cobbles, so obviously however long ago it was, and he was so poor, he was so hungry, and he started stealing some apples. So they went after him, and they bastards brutally chopped his hands off. And the poor man, which what I was seeing was it was a young boy, back, like I said, back then, he was then obviously then couldn't work, couldn't provide then himself with anything then, so he was knocking on people's door using his head, and for some food, for something, some shelter, and it was so like, it was just so overwhelming to see, and then I saw our past lives together. We did 9 lives together. In fact, we joked, was like, right, not the next one, if you see me, go the other way, okay? I've had enough of you. 9 lives together, that's it now. We're going separate ways. And but yeah, I see mine as well. In this life I don't drink. People always ask me, why you don't drink? I don't drink because I saw my past life, and I was a dancer, a ballroom dancer, very successful one as well, but unfortunately my lover at the time, which wasn't my husband, but it was somebody else, didn't want me, and I started drinking, and I fucked up my career, and I keep seeing myself near my wardrobe with all my beautiful dresses, and I'm just surrounded by lots and lots of drinks, and then until I drank myself to death. That's why I can't drink. I can't stand it. Even the smell, like, you can drink near me, it's not a problem, but I can't. Not even on my wedding when we got married, I just couldn't. I just drank orange juice, to do the cheers and stuff.
So have you ever been a drinker then? Did you ever drink before, or have you just like your whole life you haven't? No. So thank you to my guest today, Madonna. It's been a lot of fun. And we've had so much to talk about. We've talked about past lives, we've talked about the tarot, about the incense, about the transfiguration, and there's so much that we haven't covered. But if anybody wants to contact Madonna, then the links will be in the show notes for her Instagram, Facebook, her TikTok. And please also follow me on my own personal Instagram, which is Ascending the Abyss. And until next time.